In 2020, the Alliance for Food Sovereignty in Africa, AFSA, and Seed and Knowledge Initiative, SKY, initiated the Healthy Soil, Healthy Food Initiative, aiming to enhance soil health across Africa. 15 soil health improvement centers bearing a common vision for a future where healthy food is grown on healthy soil, adapting to climate change, and bolstered by favorable evidence-based policies that demonstrate scalability, were established in over 10 countries in the southern, east, and western regions of Africa.
The 15 healthy soil food centers across the continent mobilize lead farmers. These are given different names. Others call them TOTs, trainers or trainees. Others call them agroecology, community agroecology volunteers. Others call them lead farmers. But just to understand these are kind of champion farmers. People who are doing farming in the community, who are identified and brought to the Healthy Soil Food Center, given advanced practical and hands-on training in a number of technologies, agroecological technologies, for example, technologies for maintaining above ground biodiversity, like establishing polycultures, establishing biodiversity gardens, the intercropping, mixed cropping, and all that, all those practices around, having a variety of crops, a variety of species, a variety of organisms in one ecosystem. But also we look at issues to do with below ground biodiversity, where we look at everything under the soil, both the microorganisms, the earthworms, the insects in the soil, all sorts of reptiles in the soil, but also the microorganisms. So how do we culture microorganisms, the bacteria, the fungi, the protozoa, and increase their numbers, because we know these are the soil engineers. These are very, very important organisms that we need, to keep our soils healthy.
In Uganda, AFSA, in partnership with Rural Community in Development, Rucid, an organic agriculture training college in Mityana district, kick-started this initiative in the year 2021 with over 3 master agroecology trainers, Rucid staff who trained over 25 agroecology farmer trainers from different parts of the country for over 1 week in agroecological practices intended to promote healthy soil, hence healthy food. Subsequent trainings followed in 2020 and 2023.
In the first year, we managed to train 25 TOTs, as we call them, and these TOTs were given the skills and the knowledge, first of all, to understand what is agroecology, because the Healthy Soil, Healthy Food initiative is really using agroecological principles and practices. So we wanted, before we could start training, we wanted actually to see that these people understand what is agroecology, and by the end of that they knew what was agroecology. And then before they went back, we asked them to go and establish agroecological units, agroecological farms. So we gave them 1 year, they went back and they started, each one of them started developing an agroecological farm, but at the same time each of them was mandated or was tasked to train at least 10 people per person.
We mostly start with the soil because it is very, very important to look at the soil and how it behaves. First we start with soil management, looking at how the soil behaves, and then we go into biofertilizer production. In this, we produce bokashi as a soil amendment. We produce native microorganisms, the small microorganisms that are locally available into our area, which we call native microorganisms. We produce activated biochar. These are all small topics that we teach our TOTs. Activated biochar. And then we go to pesticides. In the pesticides we have what we call Hshf. And here at Rucid we branded it as Hshf. We produce Super Mago. We produce lime sulfur. We produce apichi. We produce lactic acid.
These trainings were strictly practical and embraced the use of locally available resources to produce various agriculture inputs.
We actually based on hands-on training. It's all about touching. It's all about feeling. We use our body as a library. We use the smell. We use the hands to taste everything we do. So it is very important that when we are carrying out these trainings, they are practical trainings, strictly practical, and someone using the locally available resources.
This is Elisha Sebaduka, an agroecology instructor at Rucid. Elisha is one of the 3 selected master trainers who conducted a 3-phase training of the agroecology farmer trainers under the Healthy Soil, Healthy Food initiative. Being exemplary, Elisha demonstrates his own agroecology farm laid on an 11-acre piece of land, demonstrating various agroecology principles and practices.
The beans are fixing nitrogen into the soil. Therefore, we are benefiting from that abundant element in the air, which is needed most by plants, because without nitrogen they cannot grow well. Then we have the bees. The bees are functioning in the pollination of the crops. And then we have the microenvironment protection, for example, the hedge, the woodlot that has been reserved, because in times of harsh conditions, the microorganisms will run out of the harsh conditions, and then they hibernate under the environmental protected areas. But also, as we have the hedges, we are going to be taking up carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and as we contribute to reduction of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, therefore we are contributing positively to climate change mitigation. The soil is kept healthy because we are trying, and we have tried to keep the soil covered most of the time throughout the year. And therefore, our microorganisms, which are very beneficial in maintaining the health of the soil, will be working happily in the soil, and so productivity can go on. When we feed the microorganisms with the manures that we bring, then the microorganisms remain active and healthy, and they perform the job on our behalf.
This is Samuel Kawiye, one of the successful trained agroecology farmer trainers who later set up an organic fertilizer bioprotectant processing farm in Buyikwe district, Kizigo village, Najembe division, Lugazi municipality, 68 km from Kampala. He as well set up a model agroecology farm where he tests all his agroecological practices.
The size of the fruits or the crops were narrow, because as we are promoting healthy soil, healthy food, the soil were not healthy. But after having the training, now everything is healthy, especially the pumpkins, because I'm a pumpkin grower. You are growing pumpkin and they are small. Even if you applied the other shop fertilizers, the pumpkins were small because the soil lost the control. So after applying these fertilizers, the pumpkins were big, and we experienced that by having a small garden without applying any chemical.
Samuel went an extra mile and trained his founder youth network UIDNet employees in the production of organic fertilizers, bioprotectants, and other farming inputs like black soldier flies, BSF, and vermiculture.
He told me I have to get ash, you have to have a bucket and a basin. In a bucket, you have to put holes down. After putting the holes, get your ash and then you put it in the bucket. Place that bucket after putting ash in the basin, and then you pour water. Then after some days, that water will go down, and then that liquid that comes out afterwards is what we call NPK. We can use it to spray on different plants.
Okusingira ddala kyetwetaaga ye lavi ono ye mulungi okuliisa ebisolo byaffe. Lavi ono alimu proteins mungi okusinga ku biri ebirala abalimi bye bakozesa nga mukene ne soya. Black soda fly ono alina proteins 50%, ebitali ku kirala.
In Uganda district is an agroecology farmer trainer, Hadija Naigaga, who later, after the training at Rucid, embarked on reservation of the indigenous seeds that are proven to be resistant to climate change.
N'ataawo seed bank yange nga mulimu ensigo ebika nga 25 eby'ebidandaali, mulimu ebika ebya byetusimba wansi byasobola okugimusa ettaka lyaife n'ebindi bingi.
Hadija extended this training to over 90 farmers, among which over 68 farmers adopted the healthy soil, healthy food practices. Juma Kasata, one of these farmers, explains how components on a farm complement each other to bring about synergy's principle of agroecology, as crop residues are mixed with cow dung to produce compost manure.
Tulima kalyandula, lumonde, kasooli, ebisagazi, raburabu, byonna ne tubireeta nga tuliisa ente. Bwe tumala okubiriisa ente ebisigaliddewo, tubiteeka walala n'ekalimbwe ow'ente, ne tubiteeka mu kinnya, ne bimala ennaku 30, ne bifuuka ttaka, ate ne tubijjaawo, ne tubizzaayo mu nnimiro, ne tuliikiriza ebirime nga tufunye compost manure. Ennimiro yange ky'oba olaba buli ekirimu kinyirira.
Furthermore, in Mubende district is Kenneth Besuje, a passionate coffee farmer. Kenneth greatly praises the Bokash fertilizer that he learned from Rucid Organic Training College under the Healthy Soil, Healthy Food Initiative.
Emwanyi eno n'ebitooke bino okufaanagana bwebiti. Waliwo ekigimusa kye nasomera ku Rucid kye nasinga okwesibako ennyo kye bayita Bokash. Bokash ankoledde nnyo, antunze, ate musomeseza ne bannange bamutadde mu nkola. Era bw'oba otuuseeko ku abo be musomeseza, abamu bajula na kusinga nze omusomesa waabwe.
Also in Musisi, an agroecology farmer trainer and agroecology animator at Namayumba Epicenter, a hunger project initiative based in Wakiso district, says conducting the farmer trainings has been simplified as a result of working closely with the local council leadership.
Ffe abalimi abeegattira ku Namayumba Epicenter nga tuli wamu n'olukiiko olufuzi lwa Epicenter, tukwataganira wamu ne tutuusa eddoboozi lyaffe ku ggombolola. Abakulembeze b'eggombolola ne bajja ku Namayumba Epicenter ne bategeezebwa oba ne basomesebwa ebyo ebigenda okusomesebwa abalimi nga tebinnabasomesebwa, ne bakkiriziganya naffe nti ebintu ebyo bituufu era birungi. Oluvannyuma lw'okusomesa ab'amagombolola tugenda mu maaso ensonga ne tugitwala paka ku town council.
Many farmers testify great benefits from the Healthy Soil, Healthy Food Initiative, and they express their gratitude to Hshf for the great impact brought to their lives. However, they are faced with some challenges as they traverse different parts of the country to train more farmers how to produce various agroecological farm inputs and practices.
When I ku Rucid na traininga abalimi 200. Ku balimi 200, 120 bamaze okuteeka mu nkola. Nze mba nvuze akapikipi kyange nga mbiseemu, bwe mba nvaayo enkota y'ettooke ebeera kuli, epapaali libeera kuli, enanansi ebeera kuli, n'ow'enkoko n'ateekako.
We have a challenge of satisfying our products. 2, we have a challenge of moving to other countries to see, or other districts to see how are they use this. What is the difference from what we learn or also from others?
Working together with Pelham Uganda, working together with the AXA Uganda, with Kulika Uganda, it has made this project to become nationwide because they have given us TOTs or farmers from the different parts of the country.
We are looking at 7,200 farmers from across all the centers, and that brings it down to about 300 farmers per center. But Rucid last year was able to reach over 400 farmers, which was also way beyond our targets. And I'm hearing this year they have even doubled that number. So we are proud of Rucid. It's been working so hard, training so many agroecology farmer trainers. And these agroecology farmer trainers also, we have reports that have been reaching out to thousands of farmers, yeah, out there. So Rucid has worked so well. They have built a huge mass of agroecology experts, both the trainers and the farmers themselves. And we want to appeal to the government of Uganda to give more support to our agroecology organizations, mainly Rucid, that is our Healthy Food Center, but also the other partner organizations from where the agroecology farmer trainers come from, whose farmers these trainers also access. So we are calling upon government to embrace the agroecology model, to support our agroecology lead farmers, not to reject them in the community, but create platforms for them, connect them to the mainstream agriculture officers, agriculture extension workers, but also to think about our people in their plans, in our budgets. Our organizations are resource constrained. Hshf itself is resource constrained. We only have one healthy food center in the country, yet we would want to run even more than 10 in Uganda alone. So we are calling upon government to support us. Number one, to create a very friendly policy environment, because sometimes we are engaging with the communities and there's a bit of resistance. Yeah, so we are calling upon government to bring down, to lessen the resistance. Let us embrace our work. Let them embrace our trainings. Let them accept our agroecology farmer trainers. Let them cooperate with our local partner organizations. That way, we will see a lot more work going on. We will see a lot more results coming. Our soils will come back to life. Soils have died. A bigger percentage of our soils in Africa are dead, are not productive. So we are reviving the health of the soils and making the soils healthy again. And that way, they will give us healthy food. And when we eat healthy food, we will be healthy ourselves.